cross-country riding. For me, it's not just point and shoot, look up and hope for the best. Though sometimes that is actually the best way to do it. But what I'm trying to teach you guys today is start is the idea that it's really not a whole lot different from what we did yesterday, where the focus is the quality of the canter. Yesterday was the quality of the yesterday. Today the focus is the quality of the gallop. And what you need to begin to understand is the different shapes that you need in your horse, depending on the different shape of the fence. So having said that, so once again, I want to reemphasize, that it isn't whether or not you can see a good distance. As Mr. Wofford says, there is no perfect distance. There's only a perfect canter or gallop. And there are a lot of cross-country fences you can't do. But some of them you gallop into. You gotta have a perfect gallop. So, but you guys, Laura, since I know you probably heard this a billion times, and Sydney's heard it at least once, if not twice, would you all mind going and, I think you could leave the first two rails where they are and just put that back rail down, one or two. That'd be great. Thank y'all. Before I forget. So, the way I break it down to make it understandable is I compare it to gears. If fifth gear is as fast as your horse can go, so he's stretched out, belly, grass tickling his belly, nose and nose together, flying across the ground. Okay? He's probably, maybe not for him, but probably on around a 20-foot stride. 18 to 20-foot stride, unless you're Secretariat. That's different. You got a 30-foot stride. But anyway, that's probably about an 18 to 20-foot stride. And it's a feeling that you would, not unless you're just stupid, ever want to be coming to a fence with. Right? Because they are flat as pancakes flying across the ground. That's fascinating. We're not doing that today. Not happening. Not on my watch. So that's fifth gear. Fourth gear, you have moved their back feet a little closer to the front feet. And I will show you how I want you to do that. And so they're probably on a 15 to 18 foot stride. Excuse me. And the only fence you would ever want to jump is one that has a piece like a real hurdle fence, a real true steeplechase fence, which is got a big wide white piece of tape. That's the ground line. So if you really mess up and you step on the ground line, you're fine. It's just tape, right? Then a very long ascension to the height of the fence, and it's mostly all brush. Like the solid is somewhere down in there, and it's maybe only a foot and a half, 2 feet high, and the rest of it's just stacked brush. So if you completely miss at a high rate of speed, the horse can kind of almost run through the brush and make it over. I don't know if you've ever watched hurdle racing, but you'll see that a lot. You'll see them basically step in the fence and spawn racing. So that's fourth gear. Suffice it to say that the only time I've ever approached a fence in fourth gear, and I kind of miss it, was when I was doing, the first time I really and truly was in fourth gear was probably when I was doing my first advanced steeplechase, meaning a long format steeplechase. And it was at Radnor, and they had true hurdle fences with tape. That's the first time I'd seen the tape around and all that stuff. And it was a rush. I haven't done it since the last time I did real steeplechase, which was, 2 at Fair Hill. I've done it since then. I've sort of pretended doing the training level 3 days and stuff, but you're not really. So, we'll move on. Third gear. Third gear is something that you can do on cross-country. Third gear is if you have a jump like that, the ascending little triple bar that we've built, or that little white thing there that is nice and ascending, or anything that takes a while, like a generous ground line, it takes a while to get to the site, so that if you make a mistake, the horse can have room to get out of the way. Third gear is usually a 12 to 15 foot stride, and move their back feet closer to front feet, so they're, and if you think about it, probably if they're like this when they're in fifth gear, then their back is probably starting to come up as So if they're like this, head, tail, then that's fifth, that's fourth, that's third, that's second, and that's first. Okay? And so they're getting rounder and rounder and rounder. That's what you do. Second gear is where we live in cross country. 90% of the stuff you do is in second gear. Until maybe once you go in prelim, it's probably more like 60-40. They have more and more galloping fences the higher you get. But even if you have a galloping fence and you're going novice, you're probably going to approach it in second gear, you know, because you're either on a green horse or a green rider. The only time you get to do a third gear fence in third gear when you're a novice is if you're an amateur adult and that's what you do for fun and you've been going novice for a long time and you're on an experienced horse. Not bad. Go do a third gear, why not? So, having said that, second gear is anything tricky. Water jumps, coffins, light to jar, on a funky hill, anything that's tricky at all, or something your horse is afraid of, got to be in second gear, which is a 10 to 12 foot stride. And that's exactly what we were working on this year, a good 10 to 12 foot stride. But here's where it's different. The only time, because yesterday, the jumps fall down, you wanted that 10 to 12 foot stride to be very soft and flexible. Not so much in cross country. The only time you want to have that same feeling, and you'll hear me and probably Laura and other coaches on cross country say, I want you to have a show jump feeling. That's what they do. They want that same 10 to 12 foot stride, but it's with that soft, feeling, because it takes incredible accuracy. If we were to take maybe the top rail off of that 4-point rail fence and say, okay, you know, go jump that, I would want you in a show jump that was soft in second gear, which is a lot of transition to make. If you are doing a coffin, then I want you in an argumentative second gear, depending on your horse. Some horses have no issues with pitches, so then you just are in something in between. Maybe, you know, they're shaking your hand a little harder, they're pulling you a little harder, they're a little bit more impulsive in that second gear, but you're maintaining that 10 to 12 foot stride. If you have a horse who doesn't like pitches, if you have a horse who doesn't like water, doesn't like something that you know you buffalo shoot, they're not going to like that. Put them in that second gear, you create an argument early. Right? I create arguments by taking my toes, turning them out, taking my spurs and going boom, boom. And the horse goes boom! And they spin their tail and they pin their ears and they shake their head. And you end up having to use some pretty serious upper body strength to keep them from going faster. But while you're doing that, you're still going boom, boom. You know, so you're basically saying, run, don't run, run, don't run. And they get really pissed off at you, and they're really balled up and yanking you forward right until the point where they see what they don't want to jump. And then you go, okay, go. You can go now. Now it's time to go, right? So I'm sure you've had some version of that, but it's still second gear. First gear, you don't have to do today, and probably maybe not ever. First gear, you really don't have to do until you're at least advanced, maybe not even a 4-star. Perfect example of it is the Sunken vertical. Where you have that skinny vertical, 9 feet, meaning bounce, drop down 4.5, 5 foot drop into an 18-foot road, which is trotting one stride, right? If you're galloping right. Back up another 4 foot bank, and 9 feet to another skinny vertical. That means your horse has to almost be going up and down more than he's going that way. He's got to be on an 8 to 10 foot stride. Okay? That's a lot of jibber jabber for blowing and jumping. But I want you to understand that, like everything else, there is a process. And the process will create safe riding. If you look at your course with that in mind now, what's the shape of the course? What kind of canter do I need to have for that shape of the course? And maybe you've already been doing that, maybe you have, absolutely, right? But what kind of shape do I need? And then how do I get that shape? And how do I execute that? And if I do all of that, then if I'm dead wrong, my horse has what he needs to fix it, and we move on, and everything's done. So now I got to get off. How do you fix it? If you're in, do you all, when you gallop, do you sit or do you stand up? You can yawn. It's okay. I really, it's okay. Do you stand up or does your bum touch the saddle? Do you sit? Do you stand up? How do you gallop? I know you stand up because I do. You stand up. Yeah. You sit or stand up? So, this whole speech gets tougher if you don't stand up. All right. So, if you're up, you're galloping along, and you are at a gallop that you would not want to jump a fence from, and that is all I'm going to ask today. I want you to create a gallop that you would not want to jump a fence from. That will probably be either a really unbalanced third gear or a fourth gear kind of step. Either one of those is fine. Right? So you can go as fast as you want, but I want you to create a balance that you do not want to jump a fence from. So here you are in that balance. And the reason for that is you're using all the muscles, and your horse is using all their muscles that you don't use to jump a fence, and therefore you're saving those muscles. So there's a good reason for that. You don't want to go, oh, but this is horrible balance, I don't want to do this. Do it. And that's why warm bloods so often are not good at long, hot cross-country courses, because they always, almost, not always, but a large majority of them always gallop in a gallop that you could jump a fence from. They gallop here. That's the way warm bloods usually gallop. Thoroughbreds usually go down here. You never want to jump a fence from them. But that's one of the reasons, as well as better lung capacity, blah, 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 all that stuff. But that's one of the reasons warm bloods don't make it as long as thoroughbreds, meaning as far as endurance is concerned. Because every stride, they're using those muscles, every stride. So they're fatiguing them quicker than the horse than the thoroughbred. So, gallop. First thing I want you to think about, I'm going to put this way because you've already heard this. First thing I want you to think about is dropping in your heel, not lunge, dropping in your heel and moving your hip in the air. You're going to separate, you're not going to let your back work as a unit, not like this, right? Separate this from this, just like yesterday. Hold this up and feel your hips move independently of your upper body in rhythm with your horse's back. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So your seat is already, moving the same as the seat of the saddle. Then you start pulling that seat forward and underneath your shoulder so that you end up where every coach has ever wanted you to be, which is shoulder, hip, heel, and long. Okay? I'm not asking you to stand, pull your shoulder up, and then sit down. Because if you do that, what you probably will get, this is the head, this is the tail, is the horse's head will go like that, and then you sit down, and you get that. Right? You do what I ask, what you'll probably get is this, and you sit down, and you're ready to go. Yes? If the only way you can get it done is to stand up and sit down, do that. I am not telling you to run at the fence on your nose like this. Well, Dorothy said not to pull my shoulders up. Not saying that. If you're like, this isn't working for me, I can't figure out how to do it, pull your freaking shoulder up and get your butt to saddle, period. Because that's always safer than not. But a way to make it easier on yourself and your horse, the reason my move used to be drop in the heel, pull the shoulder up, sit in the saddle and go for years. And I always ended up with horrible lower back pain, probably because I'm so long in the body. So I started watching William Foxpitt and Mark Todd, very tall, long people. If I'm doing this isn't about strength, because I was back then very, very strong. And so I watched them, and they're the one, I was like, oh, what they're doing. Their upper body's not moving, ever. Like, they jump, they land, they gallop, they move their seat under, they jump, they land, they gallop, they move their seat. And this doesn't move, ever. Even more so, uphill, downhill. This is the rider, head, bottom of the rider. This is the hill. Here they are in 2-point. Now they're going up the hill. Looks like they're leaning forward, but they're not. They're still in 2-point. Now they're going down the hill. Looks like they're leaning back. but they're not. They're still in 2 point, right? Dropping off the drop. Looks like they're leaning way back. They're not. They're still where they were. Right? Now, when you see those pictures of the riders where they're going like this, they didn't get to the edge of that big drop and go, okay, go! They came in the seat. Sorry, I left that out. This way, this is 2 point, this is the seat, right? So they came in the seat. And then when the horse went to jump off, it's such a big drop that the horse cracked its back. And they had to absorb it. And that's how they ended up there. Okay? But they didn't go, I'm going down a big drop. Because if you do that, you have nothing to absorb it. And you better hope your horse steps off it softly. Because if they jump at all, that's going to happen. It's going to. I actually watched Lauren O'Brien at the European Championships, and there was a big jump down a steep hill, big drop jump into the water, and she got to the lip and she went like that, and he cracked his back, and she came off. I mean, it was like, I've felt that before when I've done it, because I'm also like, oh my God, I'm going to die, I got to sit back, right? And it's like somebody puts their hand on your butt and goes, phew, right? Because they are. The horse is putting his back here and cracking it, and it just sends you, having a shock absorber. So it's really important for you to start to unlock the bottom part of your body and be able to do what you need to with it, right? And stop doing it up here. However, if you can't come to a cross-country fence, if your choice is here or here, I pick here. Okay? So, how to get back in. Drop in your heel, this way, drop in your heel, move your hip under, and move it, because you're already matching the movement of the saddle. So you move it or scoop it into the saddle, and start moving the saddle to your hand, create shorter and shorter and shorter stride. So the idea, the way you move the horse's back feet to the front feet versus your hand, is by moving your bum to your hand, right? As opposed to pulling the front feet closer to your back feet with your front end. Does that make sense? Okay. So, now as far as the quality of your canter, even down there where you're galloping along, if he was galloping uphill enough that you couldn't jump the fence, it's just your body rocking. So when you said now, you rocking. When you said now, for sure, yeah, okay, the horse's body was okay, but if he tripped or hacked at something, you'd have been in trouble. Now the only thing I don't like about her feel is her upper body's rocking, so she's not separated her upper and lower.
Second.
And I'll talk to her about it. No, there was not enough difference between when she thought the third and second. There was not enough the feet weren't pushing up together. The horse having to let go of her standing up. But as she let go, you knew he was gone. Okay. You got to feel like you can let go a little bit and have him not just piss off. Unless you're trying to create, the second gear fence that I want you to come to is just a vertical, not anything the horse is afraid of. It's just a vertical kind of fence. Okay. All right. So you got in the saddle much happier with your position than Alyssa. But what you need to work on, what we saw, was this. When you're in the saddle. This has to separate from this. This stays tall. This boogies.
Okay.
You got it. Yeah, and I know I'm doing it right when it hurts right there.
Okay.
Like it just hurt right there when I did it just then. So I know. Now, as far as the quality of your canter, even down there where you're galloping along, if he was galloping uphill enough that you couldn't jump the fence, it's just your body rocking. So when you said now, you rocking. When you said now, for sure, yeah. Okay, the horse's body was okay, but if he tripped or hacked at something, you'd have been in trouble. Now the only thing I don't like about her feel is her upper body's rocking, so she's not separated her upper and lower.
Second.
And I'll talk to her about it. No, there was not enough difference between when she thought the third and second. There was not enough the feet weren't pushing up together. The horse having to let go of her standing up. feel like you can let go a little bit and have them not just piss off. Unless you're trying to create, the second gear fence that I want you to come to is just a vertical, not anything your horse is afraid of. It's just a vertical kind of fence, okay? All right, so you got in the saddle much happier with your position than Alyssa. But what you need to work on, what we saw was this. When you're in the saddle. This has to separate from this. This stays tall, this boogies.
Okay.
You got it. Yeah, and I know I'm doing it right when it hurts right there.
Okay.
Like it just hurt right there when I did it just then. So I know. Moment when you yell second, you could jump a vertical box. Okay? I like your third was very good. Your second was a little unbalanced. I want you to don't say second until you feel like if there was a vertical box in front of you, you could jump a little.
Well, said it, I was like, oh, maybe not.
Yeah, he tripped or slipped coming around the turn and was not quite on his feet. You had, your feet were closer together, but he was sort of like that. Okay.
Third.
Listen, you do this go the other way.
Second.
All right. She was sort of leaning in the turn.
I don't know why I don't fit.
At all. You just slowed the horse down. All that speechifying I did?
I know.
Brain fart. That's good.
It was?
Yeah. Absolutely. I would have been very happy with you jumping. When you said third, you could have jumped the triple bar, and when you said second, you could have jumped the square box, and I'd have been totally happy with it. Over the place compared to what you're used to. And I'll let you do it again, just now. And mostly because I want you to, second is the most important, right? I want you to really be sure. It's too high.
Third.
Better. Lucky.
Second.
Good. Excellent.
It's amazing when you run different.
Transition. He's like, I'm keeping up with that Jabez horse. His 20 years ain't gonna kick.
That was better. Oh. So Faith, you need to communicate, right? Say, I am going to jump this log, everyone. Stay out of my way. Yeah? You do it. Go ahead.
Faithy, come away.
Yell. Say, I am going to jump the log by the truck.
Log by the truck.
Just like that one. Go. It's like, I'm going to jump anything.
Faithy, come here. You're bottling up, baby girl. All right, you're frustrating him. You gotta let him come. Come here.
Which is why I was saying, yell at everybody, you're going to jump the log by the truck and then go do it.
You can't keep your eyes on them. Look up, switch your place. Good, don't move. You're getting frustrated with all the horses. Don't make him stand there. Stand up. Let him burn his energy up. Good boy. Good boy.
All right, guys.
Circle. Good girl. Praise him.
You already done like you did your little house as well? Have you done that?
Nope. Liar.
I guess all three to get you going, but you feeling better now? Because Laura was a star.
Hey, do you know Jackson Major?
Wait.
Yeah.
Wait, Jackson Reagan?
Yeah.
He's out.
No, I know he's out, but what happened?
So she got a butt attack. She still has the same problem of the whole body.
The joint is bad now. Or it's like,
So you got your button attack, which is lovely because your whole body. It's not moving too much. It's not moving too much. You've got to separate.
yeah.
Separate up from
Very fast.
right? Yeah. You got to do this and do that. You got to be like a monkey humping a log.
Yeah.
So he's
Dog
done
on
for
the
the
leg.
season at least.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I mean, he couldn't walk very well.
Okay, yeah.
My brain's not working all together today.
The horse. Some people can get on a horse and go do it. But she's one of the people that's like go looking at
Well, some of them are advanced riders, like Julie, and we had a horse for like 2 weeks and ran it for him. So some people can do that. Yeah.
you just gotta get straight really quick.
You have to be a
Young riders and stuff.
All year since like I think January she ran something. And she's been in like the top 6 every time.
Straight. No second.
I know they're
Not my world.
That wasn't straight.
And it also wasn't second.
Nope.
Lovely third gear. Like you could have had a big old jump coming out of that turn and you've been fine.
Yeah.
Lovely third gear. You gotta take that half ball through. You gotta push the saddle. You were pushing the
Caitlin always
saddle
does really well.
to
You
a
always do
hand
really
you
well.
were
She's
pushing.
gonna get her.
Okay.
I don't do really
can do
well.
it
I
at
do
girls'
like
club.
skip normal.
You pull straight down.
Skip's pretty consistent. So.
Skip's pretty consistent. You open your hand a little bit, but you might be. So it wasn't because overly straight.
Victoria White. She showed me it in person too.
More.
I don't know about Matilda.
Really good.
She's an area.
All right,
I haven't met her that much, but a lot of the area.
Beautiful stuff out there, by the way. Beautiful. Beautiful. Like I knew way up here. Then you way up here. Gorgeous. Okay. Look at that 1,000 feet. What kind of shape does it have? What would you, if you were walking it, consider what gear would it fly? Okay, gear? What gear? First, second, third, fourth. What gear? Second. Why? No. And yes.
Well, and it goes to a little.
Does it take a long time to reach the point?
No, it rolls.
Hang on. Lovely. It rolls. About a foot later, the ground line, let's get away from it. The ground line to the triple bar is about 5 feet. Maybe not 5, but at least 3.5 to 4 feet before it reaches its height. Good. Good. You understand? That's a second good sense. That sense reaches its height quickly. Plus, it's got air underneath it.
Nah, you rode.
You wrote. As I was talking, you were doing what your body was perfect. It's like an instant video. It's great. So now, Becca has a perfect imprint of what it's supposed to look like.
Look at Lily go.
All the way around.
I didn't know she went training.
10 to 12 foot stride here.
Becca said she's gone training.
12 to 15 foot stride.
Really?
Move him up, perfect jump. And then let him come.
Like when she was younger.
Did a big rock and did a perfect 10 to 12 foot stride there. Yeah. And now the big rock. No, more. Yeah. And that was the same without the change in speed. You just made those back feet run up to the front feet. You showed it more obviously because you showed it changing in speed.
Nothing in it.
Back pocket. Long range.
No, there's no
Back pocket. There, better. One more time, Faith. You totally tip forward. Totally. I want you in your back.
Nothing in it.
Back pocket. Long range.
No, there's no
Back pocket. There, better. One more time, Faith. You totally tip forward. Totally. I want you in your back. You're too tight in your lower back. Push your belly button to your spine. Eye up on that X. Belly button to spine. Uh-oh. 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 Stay. Come again. You are off. Thumbs up. Long range. Eyes up. Belly button first. Yeah, better over the second one. Okay? So right now, you ride into the X in the C. You gotta press the C over the X in case the horse looks at the dick. You don't look at the dick. Now stride away from the X and you look up to the two other fingers. And then as he's taking off and you're compressing that C, you open your fingers and allow as much weight as that horse with the head down. Because then you'll have a soft step over the dick instead of that. Give it a shot. You know, hey, when you're going beginner novice, do you ever have a conflict? You don't. Yeah. So it's okay. If you're not able to do it, it's okay. But it's also a good time to start. Post in that seat. Eyes up. Let go. Yeah. Yeah. Good. Works for me. A little bit Holly Hunter over that, but it's totally Harvey. So much better. Wait. Let go. Yeah. Nice. Good. All right, Miss Faye. You get to take. We're in the sea, thank God, that you went like that with your upper body, and that bumped you. If you hadn't, thank you. Get a little concerned about letting the tiger out of the bag, in that I still am having to yell more at you for seconds. Let go. Still in, let go. Yeah.
I held her too
Yep.
much.
Yep. Good. As long as you know, that's half my job. And next group, totally in second gear there. Speaking of there. Eyes! Eyes! Whoop. There, let go. Let go, look up. Beautiful. Woo!
Nice.
There you go. Yeah.
Lily's compact.
This
It's
is
not.
on 12, but your balance was good, your eye was up, you squished the C, you let go of the reins and so on. I'm happy.
Can you go over like what squish the seat?
So if you're in the 2-point and you jump, you push your weight down in your heels, lift your hand, and you lift your bum, put your hands forward. That's how you release, right? Sorry about the you guys. I really apologize. I guess here we'll do it this way. So here's 2 points, right? And then this is the C. Now how do you get up out of the saddle? You gotta push your weight down on your heel and squish the C. Squish your hips up to your rib cage. Squish it that way and open up your back. It's got to be like this. I'm sure, like I said, you've seen pictures of upper level riders. They're not doing this over the cross country fences. They're like they're there. Okay, that's squishing. And it's a really odd feeling. And you just got to work at it and work at it and work at it. Go, girl! And work at it. Third! Squish! There. Flex, 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 flex. Good. Okay. Looking down, looking forward. And for me, Laura, that was textbook downhill camp. You did a few things maybe not perfectly right through the jump, but it didn't matter. Just so we can do the barrels around that. Barrels come around that. This is beginner novice, isn't it? I don't know.
Yes.
Okay. We can use this. All right, come talk to me. Can y'all see? Everybody see what you like? What do you like? That too. But what about the downhill ride? I should look down. Yes, that too. Got to the stand. So far they've told on you. You got to the jump and you tip. You look down too. But what about the quality of the downhill ride to the camera? You say I don't see anything.
It was flat.
Yeah, and was she flexing? No. For all your work, you were bracing going downhill.
Okay.
That's the way most amateur riders go downhill. It's okay, right? But you saw her. It can be done. She flexed down the hill beautifully. Even though it was a little bit of long stride, it was still a gorgeous downhill flex. She did it pretty well. You didn't do it all. You were totally counterbalanced, bracing, holding. And what happens when you hold like that, she got to the same distance you did. Looked much better with her because the horse had the flexibility to go boom and jump.
Okay.
Your horse was leaning in your hand, and so she had to go boom and knock you forward when she jumped. Plus
Okay.
you were already looking down, so that really knocked you forward.
Okay.
You must gallop up the hill. At the top of the hill, rock that little girl. Rock her. Don't be nice.
Okay.
Don't do it slow. All but, like, think halt.
Okay.
Right? And then sit in the saddle, hang your chest, and not let go. Flex in rhythm. Go 1, 2. Have you ever counted out the rhythm of the canter? 1. Do it. Only say to yourself, flex, flex, flex. Now, think halt. Now, think halt. And flex, 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 flex. Yeah! So much better. Wasn't a better canter. She didn't get the change at the top of the hill.
Yeah. You can push him.
No, like I was going to drop
You
him.
wrote it well after you remembered it. What happened up there? I just looked up and you were running out.
I dropped him to the fence and he had no chance to see it. It was 100% my fault.
Woo! She doing it again? What's she doing? She hasn't done it yet. Oh, she hasn't? Here you go. Oh, thank you.
Sorry. I have some green tea.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Hot green tea. Would you like some hot green tea? Sure. In a bottle. Would you drink that? Yeah.
Thank you.
I'll go get it to the car. Let her get by.